if you go to visit somebody that lives in a senior community, there's like, 20 games going on there, and you can always find a game. So it's not just, 4 people or 5 people in a room. It's a much larger kind of fan base, and younger people are coming into it. So now this, with the virtual and these different opportunities to play and share the game, I don't think that's going to go away. I think even as people start playing again, and people are playing again, very small, we'll go back to the group of, 4 or 5 trusted people. But as people start opening up and going back out into the community, I don't think that virtual Mahjong is going to be going away anytime soon. And I did have a great idea that I thought maybe you guys might want to pick up and run with, and that's the idea of a Mahjong convention.
Those are in the works. There was Michelle Frizzell had announced.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was, I'm a ex-court reporter, and I teach court reporting also. And I just went to a court reporters convention that was entirely online, with panel discussions, with vendor workshops and all sorts of things. So I think that would be a great thing for someone to do, not me.
Well, while we talk about that, one of the questions by Vicky, well, first Arlene said, how different is learning and playing American Mahjong online versus live? And then the second, Vicky said, how good do you have to be to play in a tournament?
Okay, well, the first question, learning online, I haven't really quite figured out how to teach online. So when I do my Friday group, the people that I have taught live are playing online and getting better by playing online. And so the strategies I'm teaching them are really applied to real life playing and online. What's different about virtual is that the rules are simplified, and the scoring is simplified. So, again, you don't have to worry about, did I touch a tile, or did I pick with my right hand and throw with my left hand, which some people would call you dead if you did, or, you don't have to worry about any of that. The program takes care of all that stuff. You can't cheat. You can't palm a tile. It doesn't matter if you call the tile. It doesn't matter if it goes in your hand or it goes on top of the rack. So you don't have to pay attention to any of that. You could just pick and throw. So that's different. You could focus more on the actual gameplay. How good do you have to be to go to a tournament? It depends on the tournament. I mean, I've been to some tournaments that call themselves tournaments that really maybe should not call themselves tournaments. They could call themselves contests, or they could call themselves social mahjong with points. I mean, my friend Naomi runs a wonderful group at Hollis Hills. When we were able to do it, it was social mahjong in a temple. They had a large room. She would sometimes get 20 tables. You charge a few bucks and you play. And then in June, at the end of the season, she would have sort of a tournament. It would be, for people who hadn't been in a tournament before, we would play the same way that tournaments play, with timing and moving your seat after every 4 games. And you count points, but it was much more relaxed. And it wasn't like going to a tournament like in Piscataway where you're playing 8 rounds, and this was more like 3 rounds of a more relaxed kind of tournament. So did you have to be good? not really. I mean, not everyone who goes to a tournament is good. They may be
The biggest thing,
fast.
sorry to interrupt, I think the biggest thing
Yeah.
is you have to at least work on your speed. You have to be able to get, you know, to not necessarily super fast, but to finish in the
Yeah.
time, you know.
If you go to a tournament that's, you know, a traditional tournament where they're playing 4 rounds in 50 minutes, then yes, you have to keep up the pace.
So the next thing we were going to ask is, we love seeing your blog about the annual National Mahjong League meeting.
Right.
Can you describe that? I mean, we're running towards the end of our time, but can
Oh,
you give
sure.
us
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you gonna, are you?
No, we love it.
Oh,
This is so
okay.
fun. We just don't want people to have to drop off, so.
And we
Oh,
don't know
okay.
what you can tell or not tell about the meeting, the annual meeting.
Well, no, the meeting is open to all members. I mean, look, when you buy your card from the National Mahjong League, you become a member of the National Mahjong League. And you get the newsletter. And when you order your card from the newsletter, right there in big print says, the annual meeting is the first Monday in February at 9 a.m. And you could sign a proxy and send it in, or you could call and tell them you want to come. You know, they request that you call and give a member number so that you know you're a member. And basically, it's they give the annual report, and you get an opportunity to talk to the people who work at the league, or committee members, and ask questions, and it's like a round table. Now, I understand in the past they had to rent a hotel room because so many members would come that, you know, got very crowded. In recent memory, and I've been going really every year since like the 90s, I would say, you know, and I met Mrs. Unger, and you know, to me, it was an honor to go. But sometimes, you know, and Arlene would come with me. Sometimes we'd be the only 2 members there. But it was always a very interesting experience. And Barney's gone, you know, and we take a group picture, and it's, you know, it's if you're in New York, you know, I mean, we don't know if it's going to be virtual this year. I have no idea. No idea.
And then you just mentioned Barney. He had a question. Have you ever heard of like a poker type tournament where they have something on TV, even a small TV channel, where you're watching Mahjong players and people are critiquing their play? Not teaching, but actually watching players.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know of anything like that. I mean, I've thought about it, you know, let's have a Mahjong cable channel, you know, the Mahjong channel, so anyone can tune in and watch a game. I don't know if it would get sponsors. I don't know how interesting that would be. But it's another idea. It's another idea to, you know, to just have continuous.
Like other styles. I think Ricci and other styles have had where they play poker. And then one other question we have, and then we'll open it up. On your blog, you had a great answer when someone asked about how to keep track of the Charleston. So what are your tips when, you know, you'll always hear, wait, do we do first left?
I don't remember that answer, but what I would say is the best way to keep track is just to name each pass as you do it. You know, you either east or someone at the table, you know, first left, you know, across, and wait until everyone gets the pass before you do the next pass, because some people will pick up their you know, they're across before they've picked up their second left. So always, you know, be, you know, careful to look around the table and make sure that it doesn't get messed up, because then you have to throw it in and start again.
So anyone wants to ask a question themselves, you can unmute your microphone and ask.
Seltzer. Not vodka.
You can type in a question and we can ask it, or you can open up your mic and ask it yourself if there's any questions.
Yeah. So you're all welcome to join Mahjong at Bryant Park on Facebook. I don't email that link. I do email the link to the Friday group. So if you're a beginner, I know the advanced players, they get bored, because they kind of know all of it. And although people pop onto Real Mahjong and play with us. So if somebody's screen sharing on Real Mahjong, suddenly I'll see one of my friends come into the game and play with one of the people in the group. So that's always kind of fun. But that I email the link, so I keep an email list for that. So if anyone wants to join, you can, if you go to my blog, my email's on my profile. It's lfisher718@gmail.com. Just drop me a line and I could put you on the list. And you could see if you like it. We have a lady come from Houston, so it's always very interesting.
So it looks like Christine, Janet, Barney, anyone have a question? Unmuted yourselves? No?
I agree with Linda that your hands reflect your personality. I do the consecutives more often than anything, and I find that I'm an orderly person. I have to do one thing after another. So I agree with her. I think, and I never thought of it till she said that. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, people have their favorite category. I'm not going to say which one is mine because there are people I play with here. But if I get, a tile and there's a choice between this category or that one, I'm always going to go with that one because I gravitate to those numbers more than I gravitate to certain other numbers.
Linda, do you ever have such a huge losing streak that you think you're not playing well?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'm an experienced player, and but I consider myself an average player. I win pretty much as many games as the average player wins. Once in a while, I have a really hot streak, and once in a while, I'll have a really bad streak. So I kind of look at the big picture and say, well, it's just not your night, or it's just not your time. Or personally, I don't do well when the moon's in a water sign. If you know what I mean. Pisces, Scorpio, yeah. So.
Linda, Donna Toscano asked if you could repeat the .com address that you just gave.
You mean my email?
Email.
Yeah, I could put it in the chat.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. So if you want to.
That'd be great.
Okay, so it's in the chat.
Donna,
Yes.
I just unmuted because I just wanted to say thank you to Linda.
Oh, there's Barney.
It wasn't a question. It wasn't a question. It was just thank you for your time tonight. It was fun.
Oh yeah, well it was fun. Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for having me.
What we are going to do is for anybody who, if you have friends that missed this and wanted to be part, or if there was something you want to replay, we put all of our past talks. So Barney's a past guest. They're all on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Modern Mahjong. And we have the Zoom talks. We have our features, Why I Maj, Men That Maj. We have something that Donna and I both find very interesting is just finding Mahjong in the wild. So we have a whole subject of different videos of celebrities that play, TV shows that we've seen, movies. So in next week, our guest is going to be Toby Salk, and not the week after, but in 2 weeks after that, September 9th, we are going to be having a Mahjong themed trivia night with some special fun ideas. Nice. So since there are people in our group from very beginners to extremely experienced advanced, there will be levels of questions for everybody. So there's going to be history questions, there's going to be 2020 card questions, rules. So actually we touched on a few. So if you were here, you will know some of the answers already.
Do you have teams? Will teams be signing up, or will people be in teams? Or
maybe we should ask Linda for her techie expertise, but it's more of just a fun,
That
take
should
your
be
sheet of
really
paper,
fun.
write the answers, and see how
Okay.
well you do.
Mhm.
That should be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
So
Linda,
I'll be
I
there.
wanted to share something with you. When you were talking right at the very beginning, when you said personalities of people and how they react when you're playing with them, I was in a tournament in Vegas many years ago, and this lady sat down and said, "I am the best player here." I says, "Okay." Meanwhile, I beat her 3 out of the 4 games. She didn't talk to me the whole time I was
Yeah.
there.
Good for you.
So I
Yeah.
said, "You're only as good." They say to me, "You're a good player." I says, "Yes. Let me tell you something. You're a good player if the tiles are good to you. You're only as good as the tiles that you get. So you play
Right.
the hand as best as you can." I teach also, so I tell my girls that too. They
Yeah.
say, "Oh, that's a good thing to know." Thank you,
Yeah.
Linda.
It's
I
yeah.
appreciated that.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for having me.
Well,
I
thank
just
you for
wanted to show
coming.
my shirt. I didn't show my shirt.
Everyone, be
Let's
safe.
see her shirt.
Night.
These are tiles.
Yeah.
I
Very
got it on one of Gladys's cruises. Just
wonderful.
Something happened today. I was playing on the site of Real Mahjong with my girls, and my daughter's screen went completely black. She said, "What's going to happen if that happens at the tournament that I'm playing with you?" You know, it's a computer. It happens.
Yeah, but
yeah.
sites, we find that most of them are very responsive. If you email support, and a lot of times on our community page, people get confused that, you know, we'll chime in and answer, not answer for the Mahjong League, but we'll give information for the Mahjong League, or we'll give information for Real Mahjong. You know, if you email any of them directly, and now the Mahjong League has given out their email address, they're all very responsive.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I play on 3 sites, so
Oh, wow.
I,
You gotta roll with the punches. You gotta roll with the punches with this game.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know?
you do.
All right,
It's
well,
a computer. We make
Thank you all
mistakes.
so much. Linda, thank you for all your time and
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you,
Thanks for
everyone.
having me.
good night.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Christine.
Bye.